All right, Team Boom people, today we're going to talk about the hammer special effect. Why? Because it's special, just like me. Just like me. Anyway, yeah, so follow up, most of you probably know, follow up from the original effect. That ball was a huge success. They come out with a Widow and some other things, an effect tour, you know. Then they're like, hey, what about another effect but a solid cover, right? It's also got the HK22 and the cohesion, just like the effect did, but it's got this solid cover, but it comes with compound on it. Now some people, that throws them off a little bit. I don't mind it so much. Back in the day, you know, the day, not just any day, the day, I used to polish my solids anyway, because I didn't know no better. But anyway, still I polished them. And so it's kind of, I'm used to that sort of thing. It's fine. And a lot of things I bowl on, it's got friction. So I needed to get to the fronts, and that compound helps it do it anyway. I will be putting the specs in the video right here. We'll talk a little bit about it. It's got the same core as the original effect. Same basic cover combo, except for it's just solid. Like I said, it's got the HK22 and the cohesion. I have literally only thrown this ball, what do I got, about 5 shots, 4 shots, maybe 5 shots with it so far. I know very little about it other than what I've heard. Heard it hooks. Not a real shock there, right? So, I'm gonna reset because I don't want to shoot a 3-pin. All right. I'm gonna take a guess where I gotta stand to see what happens. Now, of course, if you want the traditional solid 2000 grit or whatever, you can always just do that. Put your compound on it. Until I get to know what this ball does out of box, I'm gonna throw it like it is out of box. If I decide I need to change that a little bit, I will, but at this point, I'm gonna keep it the way it is. I do typically do these reviews after I've used the ball for a little bit. We've got a wedding coming up, a bachelor party coming up. I'm gonna be very busy. So I'm trying to get all these video reviews done now so that I can get them posted while I know I'll be busy. So anyway, let's take a stab at where I'm gonna be. I don't really know. Let's just see. I'm gonna target, what would that be? 17. That's 17, what's that gonna do? Leave it 10, okay. Initial ball right there. Ball was cleaner in the front. Waited too long to make its turn. Flat 10. Understandable. It went too far down lane, had too far to get back, and was out of energy when I got there. So I need the ball to read a little bit sooner than that. So I want to bump a little bit right. Now this core, it's got a low RG. I think it's a high differential, if I remember right. I had the specs in there, you can look it up, but I really like that effect. Almost everybody liked the effect. I guarantee if you find people that didn't like the effect, it's not very many. So we'll just talk about this special effect the more we get to know it here. All right, I'm gonna bump just a hair right, see if I can get it to read just a little sooner. Targeting 16. Oh God, and then pull it. All right, ignore that. That was pretty bad. Yeah. So I targeted 16. I think I hit 19. I don't know. It was way off to the left. If you throw it that bad, when I throw it that bad, I tend to not even look. I got to look away because it's so bad. It's kind of like my reflection. All right. Let's give this another shot. I'm going to still try to do the same thing I was just trying to do. Try not to suck at it this time. Yeah, made sure my face tracker is still heavy. Okay, try not to suck at it this time. Let's see. Okay. There, I hit 14, but that ought to be all right. Yeah. So I missed a little bit right there. I could probably even bump another one right there. I'm gonna bump another one right. I just bumped one right on that last shot. And you see, it read just that little bit sooner. But I'm gonna go ahead and go another one right. Maybe take my hand out of it just a little bit. I'll be targeting 15. Yeah, and it really runs over the 8-pin. So probably everything I literally expected. Strong motion off the spot. I don't know what it would be in comparison to the original effect, but I could guess, and I bet I'm right. Pearl, solid, both of them with compound. Solid's gonna be a little bit smoother, a little less jerky off the spot, which for me is good, typically. Jerky off the spot is handy at times. For me, typically I want to, well, I don't know when I want to jerky off the spot, honestly. There are times, whatever, smooth don't work out and you want a little more violent move. It just has a pretty good violent move, but in comparison to the effect, it's just going to be a little bit less. All right, I'm going to try that same spot again before I start moving around. Yeah, see that one there, I got kind of pushed it up in the oil. It's still red and snapped the 10 out. That's gonna be probably that ball right now on this pair for me, all those variables, the key spot for me to throw strikes in this lane. So, but we're gonna try some other things. I'm gonna try to move further right, take my hand out of it less, see what that does. I think even with me taking my hand out of it, it's gonna dive through the face, but this core is just too strong. It's gonna flare and go. But I might be wrong. 5 right, let's target 10. Oh God, I missed to the right. Oh, am I so wrong? Wow. I targeted 10, probably hit like 7 or 8. It's a pretty bad shot. And it's house shot, right? We say sometimes how the house shot here is hard. Okay, it's not a sport shot, but it's a harder house shot. But occasionally, when you're in the right spot here, it can become pretty easy just from pair to pair, from night to night. Sometimes that right spot is a hard one to find. But obviously that was a terrible shot with an amazing result. So that I can see what it would do if I actually did what I meant to do, I'm gonna try that again because that was impressive. Okay. Yeah, right here, target 10. That's closer. I read just a hair too early. Obviously, I still had a really good strike. Probably caught it just a little bit. And that'd be the hard part. If I was trying to play that lane right now, I would have to really discipline myself to not catch it at the bottom. If you do, it's diving. That was an indicator. You see, now it's still a flush. It's like a high flush, right? But if you see that, you have to know yourself. Can you take your hand out of it and be consistent? Because right there, if I hit it any more than I just did, it's going through the face. And at that angle, it's gonna be something ugly, most likely. So for me, somewhere in between those two spots is probably actually optimal. All right, I'm gonna move left side of where I started. See if I can get it to hook and strike. And in this house, when you move really far left and you get in this soup, it's kind of hard to strike, but we're gonna give it a shot anyway. All right, well, especially with compound on this thing. That's 19, I was aiming at 20. I got it there. It got there, that's pretty impressive. Like I said, I hadn't really used this ball much. So I really didn't know its limitations of what it can and can't do. But that was pretty impressive actually, that I moved that far to left and still got it to get up enough for a mixer, you know? Especially in this house. I mean, a lot of house patterns, I can probably do that because a little more friction, you can just move to more oil and bank off the friction. There's not enough friction here a lot of times to get it to do that. Decent amount today though, that's a good sign. Maybe they'll keep it that way. Okay, so special effect. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Clutch shot, if I strike, you gotta subscribe. If I miss, you gotta subscribe. If you already subscribed, you gotta subscribe again. I don't know. But thank you if you are subscribed, appreciate it. All right, I'm going to throw one more shot. I'm gonna try that in-between spot I said earlier that's probably gonna be best. This puts me 4 right of where I originally started, and then I moved left and all this other stuff. Got to do a lot of math there, but 4 right, and that's gonna make me target, looks like 12. That's why I wanted to test it. Okay, now I think I know where I gotta have my optimal strike. So now I get to do my clutch shot after I reset. All right, best spare maker in the game, that button right there. Okay, here it goes. Clutch shot, strike I win, and you subscribe. 9 I tie, and you subscribe. Wait, no, yeah. 8 I lose, and you subscribe. You know, it's all fair. Okay, where was I at here? I'll go just a little, one more left. Keep my hand out of it. Gonna target 14. Oh, I suck. I hit it too hard. And there you go. But you still gotta subscribe. Okay, really good ball though, actually. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you some stuff I really know this about that ball. Really, this is the first full game I think I've had with it. I might have had one other full game with it. If you guys go and watch my video at the Jams, I do throw it probably for a full game there. Shot at the Jams is pretty weird though. So having said that, so I did get a full game with it there. It is about another game, so I'm like 2 games into it right now. I really like to continue throwing this stuff to really kind of test its boundaries. So far, it's kind of showing me I'm gonna have a lot of options to use this thing. As far as who this is gonna be good for, I'm gonna say probably, I'm trying to think of something that wouldn't be good for. If you have a lot of speed and your friction or your center don't have a lot of friction, you may want to put some surface on it, then you can probably still use it. If you have a lot of hand, but not a lot of speed, and your center has a lot of friction, probably gonna be not get a lot of use out of it. But you can still use it in your tournament bag when you leave that house for other stuff. And obviously feel comfortable with changing the surface if you need to change the surface. I don't think I'm gonna change mine in about a month. I might do another video where by then I will have known if I changed the surface or not. So far, I don't have a problem with the surface. I have plenty of solid ASIMs with surface on it. So, fine by me. All right, boom out.